Hey everybody, welcome back to another Markiplier theory, and in this theory today, we're talking about everybody's favorite ego, Yancey. Well, he may not be everybody's favorite, but he's at least top 5 for everybody. I mean, come on, ever since the release of A Heist with Markiplier, he's definitely been up there with Wilford Warfstache and Darkiplier. But what exactly made this character the fan favorite legendary ego he is today? Well, that's what we'll be exploring in this video. So Yancey's first appearance came in A Heist with Markiplier. After clicking on A Heist with Markiplier, you can find Yancey in all of his glory by choosing the videos Guns Blazing, then Helicopter, and finally Rally the Prisoners. And after you choose Rally the Prisoners, it's pretty much just all about Yancey from there. Now some people think that Heist Markiplier and Yancey could be the same person. This is because once you go to prison, you just all of a sudden quit seeing Heist Markiplier and start seeing Yancey, and maybe that could be some sort of representation of time passing and Heist Markiplier growing into the prison life, therefore becoming Yancey. But personally, I don't think this is the case. I think Yancey and Heist Mark are both different people. And I think this because at the beginning of the Rally the Prisoners video, Heist Markiplier gets smashed through a wall, and then you quickly see the prisoners rebuilding that wall afterwards. Now the fact that the prisoners covered up that hole immediately afterwards gave Heist Markiplier zero time whatsoever to make it back into the prison. Now you could say that maybe off camera Heist Markiplier ended up getting caught by the police and sent right back into prison, but we can actually tell for a fact that this isn't the case because of the events of In Space with Markiplier. More specifically, where in the world is Markiplier? In this little part of In Space with Markiplier Part 2, we end up meeting a brand new Markiplier ego, who is a part of this Men in Black FBI-like group. And also we get to see these Men in Black people in a date with Markiplier as well in one of those endings. Just a little fun fact connecting all the 3 main Markiplier Choose Your Own Adventure projects. But anyways, whenever we see this group in Space with Markiplier, they are in the process of hunting down Heist Markiplier because he escaped prison. Now, if Heist Markiplier was Yancey, this would literally make no sense since Yancey has never escaped prison before. So that right there is undeniable proof that Yancey and Heist Markiplier are 2 separate Markiplier egos. However, even though Heist Markiplier isn't Yancey, he still may be a couple other egos, like Date Markiplier and possibly even Actor Mark. If you want to hear more about that and what it implies for the future of the Markiplier lore, then make sure to go check out my latest Markiplier theory. But anyways, shameless plug aside, let's get back to Yancey. So Yancey's place of birth is, believe it or not, Ohio, even though he does have a Brooklyn accent. However, yet another thing that we can prove is how Yancey's accent is actually faked. Not only does he end up speaking in his normal voice whenever outright telling us that his parents were confused on why he has a Brooklyn accent.
Oh, you just like my dad. Always expecting, always judging, always criticizing me for my funny accent. Oh, don't talk like that, son. We're from Ohio. Well, guess what, Dad? You ain't the boss to me no more. You ain't the boss of nothing after what I did to you.
Also in that scene, Yancey does imply that he killed his dad since he points up to heaven whenever he's like talking to his dad. But more on Yancey's father later. For now, let's continue talking about the accent. Even if whenever Yancey was doing the impression of his dad, if that wasn't his real accent or his real voice, we still have one more instance where we can hear his real normal voice. And that instance is actually right in front of our face, but for some reason I'm only realizing that it's literally right there just now. And of course, I'm talking about in his songs. Specifically in the song I Don't Wanna Be Free, Markiplier does try to incorporate a bit of a Brooklyn accent into his singing at times during that song, but there are also tons of key moments in that song where Markiplier is just using his normal voice. If you want to hear this for yourself, then just go listen to the song. Unfortunately, I can't play it on this video because I don't want to get copyrighted. But even in Yancey's next song, The Last Goodbye, it seems like the Brooklyn accent just isn't there as a whole. So I honestly think that this means Yancey's true accent, it just sounds like the normal, everyday Markiplier voice. But then this brings up the question, why would Yancey fake a Brooklyn accent in the first place? And although there isn't much proof to support anything, I do think that the most plausible theory is that he just maybe one day, super young as a kid, saw something funny on TV, or saw a cool character that he likes that maybe had a Brooklyn accent, and then you know when you were kids you'd see like some cool character and then you want to make that like your whole personality or something like that. So I feel like that's just what Yancey was doing at a super young age, but then his parents were like, well, why are you talking like that? That's weird. Which got him mad, which made him kill his parents, more on that later, and also may have caused him a bit of childhood trauma in the process, therefore kind of having him, whenever he's in prison, kind of refer back to his childlike state, meaning that he's keeping the accent. Now I know that's a bit of a stretch, but I genuinely don't see how else he would be just keeping this fake accent, unless if of course he just simply likes doing it or something like that. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go back to earlier whenever he said that he killed his dad. Now his dad wasn't the only person he's ever killed. In fact, he actually killed his mother as well. But this time, instead of having to theorize that based off of his word choice and hand gestures like with his dad, he straight up says in his song I Don't Want to Be Free that he killed his mom. Now once again, I won't actually be playing this song in the video because of copyright reasons, but he did say something along the lines of, I never think about the world beyond the night recalling I killed my mom. So this pretty much reveals why he's in prison, but it does seem like there are still a few more things that we can theorize about when it comes to Yancey's parents. In another Markiplier theory that I made last year all about Yancey, I talked a little bit about the warden and the warden's relationship with Yancey, because whenever you see the two of them interact on screen, it definitely does seem like the warden is a bit of a father figure to Yancey. Now I didn't know if this had any bigger lore implications or if it was just a small little detail for filler. I remember at the time I pitched the idea of maybe the warden is secretly Yancey's father, still alive somehow. But now I actually don't think this is the case. First off, I now have realized one of the main reasons that the warden is even a father figure in the first place is to further imply the fact that Yancey sees the prison as home. One detail about the stereotypical home is that if you're a kid, most likely with that home is also going to be some sort of parental figure. And as for Yancey, if the prison seems to fill in that role of a home for him, then he needs a parental figure to kind of go with that and fully set that in stone, and the warden fills that role in. But even with that question answered, we still have another question of, well, why does Yancey see the warden as a parental figure in the first place? And this next theory is a bit of a stretch, but I honestly do think it could work. What if Yancey's father was an alter ego of Mick? For those of y'all who don't know, Mick is the person who plays Abe in Who Killed Markiplier and also the warden in A Heist with Markiplier. But now hear me out, I know it sounds crazy and I know it doesn't seem like there's much proof to back that up, but it really does. I mean, that would provide an answer to why Yancey would see him, the warden, as a parental figure, because maybe his actual real-life parental figure who he killed maybe looked the exact same and kind of reminds him of his actual father. I mean, the possibility of Mick alter egos isn't out of the table because there are quite literally Markiplier alter egos and Chef alter egos already in the Markiplier lore, so it wouldn't be that far of a stretch to say that also like Celine and also Abe and all these other people not played by Markiplier all have their own alter ego characters or people who look identical to them. Now, of course, I could just be reading too much into all of this, and this actually isn't the case, but it's just fun to speculate. So yeah, believe what you want to believe when it comes to Yancey's parents. Not too much is really set in stone at the moment. maybe in a future Markiplier project, we'll get to see Yancey as a kid or something with his parents in like some sort of, I guess, flashback or something. That would be pretty cool. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Do you agree with me or disagree with me on anything that I've said in this video? Make sure to let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments. And on that note, I will see y'all in the next theory. Goodbye.